2017 Harley-Davidson Sportster 48 is an in-town motorcycle. The underslung mirrors make it a great lane splitter here in Los Angeles, and the throttle response of the torquey motor is nicely balanced. It's neither irritatingly responsive nor unsatisfyingly slow. Without any doubt, you can pull away from the herd when the light turns green with full confidence that no one will be bothering you. Lighter than the Roadster or 1200 Custom, and with a seat height lower than the other two, the 48 feels reasonably agile in urban settings, a good thing with the narrow bars. The 16-inch Michelins always feel planted, and give some needed help to the short suspension. The emulsion shocks offer a scant 1.6 inches of axle travel. On the upside, the quality of the short movement is impressive. It's nowhere near plush, but even on the seriously deteriorating roadways of urban Los Angeles, the shocks are capable of taking the edge off of even the roughest roads. You get a meager 3.6 inches of fork travel, but a hefty pair of 49mm fork tubes. Nicely calibrated non-adjustable cartridge-style damping gives great front-end feel, a must on irregular surfaces. The 48 provides a needed sense of the road, without jolting you out of the seat. Again, the fat Michelin Scorcher 31 tires help smooth things out, in addition to gripping the failing road surface admirably. Performance in the canyons is surprisingly good for a bike with such sport-unfriendly ergonomics. Cornering clearance isn't generous, but it is decent. Plus, the suspension doesn't move much, so you get all you can out of the design. As in the city, the 48's meaty Michelins plant themselves on the pavement, with nicey grip and feel. The fork doesn't flex, so you get good front-end feedback, and the floating 300mm disc can be used to its best advantage. Since its introduction in 2006, the Harley-Davidson Street Glide has become a staple in the motor company's touring lineup. For 2017, the Harley-Davidson touring motorcycles have been imbued with a host of updates that should make all American V-twin fans stop in their tracks. I took a 2017 Harley-Davidson Street Glide Special and put it to the test, winding it out in the back country and slogging through LA's world-renowned traffic, which led us to one conclusion: this is Harley's best non-CVO Street Glide yet, and let's find out why. The 2017 Harley-Davidson Street Glide Special gets a few important features that make it special. Linked braking with ABS, a high-end infotainment system, a security system, and upgraded paint are the primary differentiators from the standard Street Glide. The big story for the 2017 Harley-Davidson Street Glide Special is the new Milwaukee ATe 107SI engine. We're not going to get into the nuts and bolts of the Milwaukee ATe update, as it's a subject we've written about quite a bit. Featuring a claimed 111 feet-per-pound of torque at 3,250 revolutions per minute, the air-cooled 107SI power plant, with oil-cooled heads, has flawless power delivery everywhere in the power band. Unlike the twin-cam it replaces, which most certainly tapered off towards the upper regions of the rev range, the Milwaukee ATe shows no signs of doing so. The MES pulls up with much more urgency than its predecessor, especially in the further regions of RPM. Another point of praise is the Street Glide Special's 212 exhaust. While it doesn't have the boom of an aftermarket system, I certainly grinned when I'd open the Street Glide Special up. In short, it sounds superb, and that's not reviewer bushwa. Engine vibrations have been reduced a claimed 75%. Now featuring counterbalancing, Harley-Davidson engineers work to improve the comfort level of the touring line by reducing vibration, and they've done so by massive margin. Before purists fret, yes, it still feels like the American V-twin we all know and love, but with a refinement that will certainly reduce fatigue on any journey. The impressive Harley-Davidson high-output twin-cam 103 motor propels this latest iteration of the Fat Bob. Sporting an open-air filter cover, the Fat Bob gobbles up air, mixes it with high test, and turns it into nearly 100 feet per pound of torque at just 3,750 revolutions per minute. Make no mistake, Fat Bob is an urban brawler. Fists and feet forward, and a perch just high enough, 27+ inches, to provide a decent view of your hostile surroundings. The Fat Bob intimidates its way down city streets. The dual round headlights and beefy 49mm forks join with the fat front tire and black rim. The stock chrome Tommy gun mufflers meet the alphabet soup of noise and emission standards, but still manage to create a decent sound. More importantly, the power is there to move the 700+ pound Fat Bob with authority. The 180 Harley-Davidson branded Dunlop in the rear puts the power to the ground with confidence. The Fat Bob name comes from the abbreviated fenders, wide tank, and meaty tires. For those of us who rip around big cities with decaying roads, the fat rear and high-profile front tire, both 16 inches, help the suspension. That's a good thing, as there are barely over 2 inches of rear wheel travel, which isn't much when hitting LA's legendary potholes. Don't ask the mayor and governor where their road tax money went. You won't like the answer. Regardless, you can proudly push your way around town on the Fat Bob. The Dunlops are sticky and there's enough cornering clearance to satisfy city motorcycle riding. Braking is not a strong point for the Fat Bob, however. The twin 300mm discs up front are your best bet, as the air cleaner forces your right leg out in such a way that it makes accessing the brake pedal difficult. Even when you do manage to get a toehold on the pedal, the rear 292mm disc doesn't impress. So, the front disc gets the nod, along with plenty of engine compression braking. And the Harley-Davidson Road King was introduced in 1994. It became the motor company's best-selling model in the United States. The UN fared bagger took its styling cues from the 1949 Hydra Glide, which used hydraulic damped telescopic forks over spring suspension setups that were dominant at the time. The Road King remained king of Harley FL Tourers until the release of the 2006 Street Glide, which was built by Willie G. Davidson. However, Harley-Davidson is looking to change this with the bolder Road King Special. Meet the 2017 Harley-Davidson Road King Special, which I tested during Daytona Bike Week. Ahead of our full review, here are the essential fast facts from our first tried test. The Road King Special arrives with a new Milwaukee ATe 107 engine that produces a claimed 93 horsepower and 114 feet-per-pound of torque at 3,250 revolutions per minute. This engine, the first blacked out Milwaukee ATe 107 to appear on a bike, makes the previous twin-cam 103 feel sluggish. The 8-valve 107SI engine also runs much smoother than the twin-cam, and fills out the engine area more, providing a more muscular look. Due to the 107 engine being both balanced, single internal engine counterbalancer, and rubber-mounted, vibrations are dramatically reduced, especially at idle. Harley claims a 75% reduction in vibrations even in stop-and-go traffic downtown during the madness of Daytona Bike Week, the engine remained much cooler than the twin-cam 103. Liquid-cooled heads and the redesigned exhaust pipe directs heat away from the rider. The stock exhaust provides an aggressive tone when cranking the throttle, and just the right amount of noise at idle to understand you're on a serious machine. The sound is best from 3,000 revolutions per minute to the 5,500 revolutions per minute redline. The Road King Special weighs a claimed 818 pounds wet, but feels much lighter, especially at low speeds. Although 4 pounds heavier than the 2016 Road King, The Road King Special's lighter feel can be attributed to the beefy new Showa dual bending valve forks, plus emulsion shocks with no tool spring preload adjustment. Chassis setup is also slightly tweaked. The wheelbase remains the same at 64 inches, as does the 26 degrees of rake, but trail was increased 0.2 inches to 6.9 inches. 2017 Harley-Davidson Milwaukee ATe 107. We're proud to introduce the next generation of Harley-Davidson registered V-twin engines to our touring line, the all-new Milwaukee ATe 107 and Milwaukee ATe 114 engines. Their iconic look, distinctive sound and massive torque make them instantly recognizable. But the Milwaukee ATe 107 and Milwaukee ATe 114 engines take the Harley-Davidson registered V-twins to a place it's never been. They're the most powerful, coolest running motors we've ever built. Smoother, stronger and more durable. With crisper throttle response and truer, cleaner sound. 4 valves per cylinder, single chain driven cam, dual spark plugs, counterbalanced and rubber mounted. The new Milwaukee ATe engine, the 9th big twin design in the company's storied lineage, is a clean sheet design that combines the classic look, sound and feel of Harley-Davidson big twin engines with improvements in every aspect of engine performance. The Milwaukee ATe engine carries the legacy of Harley-Davidson big twins into the future, said Chief Powertrain Engineer Alex Bosmowski. While respecting the essential big twin character, we've created an all-new motor. Every aspect of performance, durability and styling has been improved as a direct response to the voice of Harley-Davidson customers around the world. Retaining the classic 45-degree V-twin cylinder angle, the Milwaukee ATe engine produces 10% more torque than previous year models and features 4-valve cylinder heads that offer 50% more intake and exhaust flow capacity. The Milwaukee ATe engine is counterbalanced to cancel 75% of primary vibration at idle, retaining the classic feel of a Harley-registered V-twin while being very smooth at highway speeds. A new heat management strategy for all Milwaukee ATe engines improves rider and passenger comfort. Milwaukee ATe engines are offered in 2 displacements, the Milwaukee ATe 107 SID/1750cc, and twin-cooled Milwaukee ATe 107 SID/1750cc, for standard motorcycle models, and the twin-cooled Milwaukee ATe 114 SID/1870cc, for Harley-Davidson registered custom vehicle operations, CVOTM motorcycle models.